Kingdom Builders, today is day 19 of our 30-day challenge of no complaining. And last week, 7 days ago on this day, one of our challenges was to quiet the mind, turn off the phones, disconnect. And most of us failed. And so today's a new opportunity. Every Sunday is a day to reset. Every Sunday is a day to not just stop, but take rest. And so before we start this week, let's keep in mind that most people think, and this is something that is more prevalent in our Western society, we think that our week starts on Monday. Our week begins on Monday. But the truth is, if you don't prepare for the week on Sunday, it's harder. And you tend to fight an uphill battle, depending on what line of work you're in, obviously. But I'll just say if you have a typical or an average Monday through Friday schedule, Sunday is the one day that you have to win the week. And when I say win the week, I'm talking about preparing for strategies for the battle ahead. Because if you wait until you're frustrated to decide that you won't complain, you already waited too long. Complaining is not just a reaction to things. It's usually a response of being unprepared. And so today's our day to reset. Today's our day to rest our body, to quiet our mind, to refocus our heart, and to make a decision. And we've talked about the difference between a decision and a choice. And what a decision does is it removes every other possibility. So today is a day that we can decide who we want to be this week before we approach life's numerous tests, because you will be tested this week. This week will have some level of uncertainty, some level of fear that gets exposed, some doubt, and some opportunity, many opportunities to complain. You look at athletes and they're not going to wait. We're watching the World Cup. These guys don't wait until game day to start preparing. A soldier is not going to wait until the fight begins to have a plan. And in the same way, we shouldn't wait until we get in traffic, until work, until difficult people or unexpected problems show up before we make a decision on our response. So our strategy for this week, and everybody has their own strategy, everybody has their own way of dealing with things, but spend some time today, reflect, plan, think about last week, think about the losses or the lessons that you learned last week and how this week is going to be different. This week is going to be more intentional. And sorry about the noisy background, but for the next week or so, I'm going to be out. I won't be in my usual location, so it will be a little noisy. So just ignore that. And let's focus on our strategy for the week. And if you're a business person, you know that strategies are usually layered. So for this week, let's look at a layered approach. Number one, the first thing is we got to identify what triggered us last week, or what are your triggers in general? What are the things that set you off? Who are the people that said things, did things that made you complain? Was it work? Was it your spouse? Was it your kids? Was it money? Was it traffic? Name it. We've talked about the power of naming things, writing things down, and that's no different for this week. And once you name those things and you've rehearsed your response, think about last week and what you responded and how you would do things differently. And instead of saying, well, what if this goes wrong, or what if this person does this? Let's change the question to, how will I honor God? How will I show up and respond as a child of God in XYZ situation? And then this is the one I love the most, is our anchor response. And it's a response that's grounded in truth that we can repeat. It's almost like an affirmation. You can say it when you feel it coming, when you're tempted to complain, when you want to say something negative, sarcastic, rude. Replace it with a positive affirmation. God is still in control. If that's what you believe, God is still sovereign, whatever you choose to believe. Or this is an opportunity. I can handle this. I've been given authority. I've been given dominion. Thank you for what I still have. Whatever it is, something positive that's grounded in truth. And finally, envision or visualize yourself going through each day. Visualize what Monday feels like. Visualize what Tuesday feels like. And let that feeling be grounded in gratitude. Before you sleep, before you end the day, write down those things that worked out. Write down the things that you're proud of, so to say. The things that you can look back and say, this was a win. Let's remember, complaining begins in your heart, in your mind. It's a condition that you can overcome. We can overcome this condition of complaining. It doesn't start with what you say. It starts with your expectations. And now if we submit our expectations to God, I think gratitude becomes our default. It becomes a little bit easier to be grateful. And there's a verse, Proverbs 16, verse 3. Commit your plans to the Lord, and God will establish the path. And today is not about doing more. It's about resting and putting a strategy together to be more. It's about better preparation for the week ahead. So let's go into this week already decided that no circumstance gets to control our response. That nothing can come between us and the gratitude for this life that God has given us. Let this week be a successful week in our challenge and in our life. And my prayer is that on this Sunday that you may get an opportunity to rest, to recover, to see, to hold on to visualize, to feel the presence of God in your life. Amen.